Well, hello, it's Miss Gina, and you're at Gina's Planet, and I'm so glad you're here. We're going to read Chapter 2 of The Chicken Boy. It's by Francis O'Rourke Dowell, and he wrote something called Dubby Co. And we're on Chapter 2. Here's how the fight happened. It was the second week of school. I was sitting on the bleachers in my usual spot for PE. Still in my jeans and t-shirt because I didn't dress out for gym. I tried it for the first few days of school, but I got tired of all the compliments that got passed my way. My legs, which Patrick was always saying were skinnier than air, seemed to make an especially big impression. At the beginning, Coach Kelly'd gotten red in the face about me not dressing out. He made remarks about one bad apple and snot-nosed punks. He said he remembered my brother Patrick, and he'd been a waste of breathing space too. But when he saw I wasn't pulling on that Legion Middle School gym shirt for nothing, he let it go. Acted like I wasn't even there, which was fine by me, son. I was drawing a race car on the side of my shoe when Cody Peters' voice boomed across the gym, knocking me out of my afternoon daze. That nice English teacher, Miss Tessman, sure has taken a shine to Toby McCauley. They sure are spending a lot of time together. I looked down at my jeans. There was a good-sized hole in the left knee, quarter size. I tugged at a loose thread to make it bigger. I didn't bother answering Peters. Going to Miss Thesman's classroom during morning break hadn't been my idea. But when I couldn't work on my autobiography in class, she'd said I had to. You've got to do the assignment, Tobin. And brainstorming and peer editing are part of the assignment, she'd said. You want to pass English, right? I shrugged. Not if it meant sitting in a group of bean snorters and spilling my guts out. I was keeping my personal information to myself, son. It's simple, really, she said, smiling. Writing an autobiography just means telling your own story in your own words. I don't got a story, I told her, and her eyes glistened a little. Oh, Tobin, Miss Tessman chirped. Everybody has a story. She decided that if I wouldn't tell mine in class, then I'd come to her room at break time and spill my guts in private. Most teachers I'd have just skipped on. But the fact was, Miss Tessman smelled nice. She smelled like lemons, my favorite smell in the world, next to honeysuckles and the wood of cedar trees. And she was pretty too, not to mention that I didn't want to flunk 7th grade English. I might not have liked school, but I planned on getting through it on time. Mostly Miss Tessman just made me write lists, stuff like my favorite TV shows when I was 5 and what movies I liked to rent from the video store. It wasn't so bad writing down things just for her. I didn't feel like I was giving her ammunition the way I would have with most other people. When you were alone with her, Miss Tessman wasn't so corny. She chewed gum and bit her fingernails. Sometimes she asked me questions out of the blue. One rainy day, she stared out the window for a long time, sighing now and again. After a little while, she turned and looked at me. Do you ever get lonely, Tobin? I mean, really lonely? I thought about it for a minute. I guess so, I said finally, thinking that on rainy days like these, when I was stuck inside and couldn't ride my bike to Granny's or go exploring in the woods, That's when I'd get the loneliest of all. Me too, Miss Tessman waved her hand toward the hallway where kids were opening and shutting lockers and talking with their friends. With all these people around, you think you wouldn't, but you do. Now Cody walked a few feet closer to where I was sitting. High-priced shoes squeaked on the wood floor. Did you know that lately I've seen Miss Tessman sneaking around the halls with Mr. Ferguson? Doesn't that just break your heart, Toby McCauley? You're not her only man. Sneaking around to do what? This was from Cody's raggedy sidekick, Russell Turner, whose job was asking Cody Russell Turner, whose job was asking questions Cody wanted to answer. This time, Cody answered him with a gesture. I won't even go into what he did, but it wasn't right. You don't stand up in the middle of the gym in front of everybody and make your hands go this way and that so people will get a bad idea about someone like Miss Tessman. I looked down at the hole in my jeans, hoping that when I looked up again, Cody would be done with his little routine. He wasn't, so I jumped him. Maybe when you grow up getting pounded on by two older brothers, you figure you're tough enough to take on someone like Cody Peters. Let me tell you, son, you're in for one butt whooping. Surprise. One butt whooping surprise. I don't remember exactly what I was thinking when I jumped Cody. Could be I thought I was Superman. Or maybe I thought it was a good day to die. I slammed into him hard enough to knock him down at least. I was on top of him for a second, hitting at him with everything I had in me. Get off me, McCauley, Cody yelled, and when he was up and flipped me over on my back, I put my hands over my face. But I kicked like a mule, since that was always my best defense against my brothers. Sometimes you can hit a sensitive area. Buy yourself time to run. But the harder I kicked, the madder Cody seemed to get. His fist pounded against me like major league pitches into a catcher's glove. I curled up into a ball, wondering if Coach Kelly would even bother dragging my dead body out of the gym. All of a sudden, Cody stumbled backwards and fell to the floor. Then there were arms around him, pulling them, then knocking him over so his face was on the ground. I could have up and run, but it made me mad that someone was trying to take over my fight. Even if I was losing, I sprang up and jumped on Cody's back. I even hung on for a few seconds before he heaved me off. The other kid, the one with the hands pulling and pushing, barreled into Cody again, landing 2 good punches to the gut. Cody made a funny noise. Only it wasn't really a noise because no sound came out, just air. All around us, people were yelling and screaming, and then Coach Kelly's voice tore through the gym. What's going on? Who started this? McCauley, what's your problem? 3 minutes later, we were waiting outside the principal's office. Me, Cody Peters, and this kid I didn't know. I'd seen him in a few of my classes, and I'd heard him say he was new, but I couldn't have told you his name. His t-shirt read, I'm Tiger Woods, but I knew that wasn't right. And next time we'll be on chapter 3. And this has been Chicken Boy. I hope you're enjoying the story, and I'll see you next time. And remember to grow your brain. Bye-bye.